G'day, guys, and welcome to the Great Rugby League Podcast. I am your host, as always, Ados. How are you all today? All right, guys, our footy is back. I cannot believe it. Holy heck, I'm over the moon, and I'm going to do this episode the same as we did the last episode. We're going to do it in two little parts, but it'll be released all together. So we'll merge it all together and I'll release it all together. I'll record this part on Monday because footy is over until Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They probably cry. Let's analyze what happened this weekend because tell you what, I got 4 out of 8 tips and I'm off to a bad start in the tipping comp. If anybody got 8 out of 8 this week, you're a bloody legend, honestly. I don't know how you got it, but you did. All right, let's start with the first game of the round. The Parramatta Eels against the Melbourne Storm. And yes, I will say it. I'm an idiot for not backing Storm in this one. 21 seasons in a row or something like that. Storm have won the first round. And I thought, you know what, Eels can break that curse at home. I was really wrong about that. So, look, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I thought both sides actually played really well in this game. I thought it was a very good start to the season. The first game, great stuff. High intensity, good game, very little errors. I thought it was very good. So my man of the match in this game, Harry Grant, although he didn't do, he did a lot, but in terms of Harry Grant, it all came in the second half, to be honest, from him. Look, Munster had a good game as well. I tell you what, Josh King, what a game from him. Monster game. I thought he did really well. Shout out to the Storm. Very good win there, 16-12. I thought Josh Hodgson had a good hit out for the Eels. But tell you what, as I said a few weeks ago, Jermaine Hopgood is playing for Queensland this year, and you cannot change my mind. All right, next game. This one was still entertaining, but definitely not as good as the first one. Warriors and the Knights. Warriors getting the win there, 20-12. I backed the Warriors. I tell you, at home, they were always going to win this game. I don't care what anybody says. They were always going to win this game. And if you backed against them, that was a stupid thing to do. The emotion of them getting the first game of 2023 at home, they would never lose in this game. CNK had a really good game. I was proud to see him come back and absolutely rip and tear. I thought Wade Egan was really good as well, and what a knock from Tohu Harris. Absolutely amazing. For the Knights, I thought Lachlan Miller was spectacular. And if this Kalen Ponga thing doesn't work out and they move him to fullback, what a waste of a talented fullback. Lockie Miller is an absolute gun. But shout out to the Warriors. Very good win. Tell you what, Warriors fans, you should be proud of that team. They played their heart out for you and absolutely deserved the win. Solid stuff there. The second of the Friday games, Panthers and the Broncos. I tipped the Panthers to win this by 18 points. They lost by 1 to the Broncos. I was shocked. And as I said in my upload, are the Panthers in trouble? I don't think the Panthers are in trouble. I don't see it. I don't think the Panthers are in trouble. No way. Not a chance. But what they need to do is they need to bring Sonny Luke on so much earlier. He needs more game time than 25 minutes. Mitch Kenny is a great defensive hooker, but he offers nothing in attack. Sonny Luke needs to be in there. He needs to be in there earlier. Use Mitch Kenny as a backup forward, a second rower, a lock, a front rower. He can play there. He's got a big body. He knows what to do. That's what they need to do. Panthers were very disappointing. Broncos were outstanding. Shout out to Herbie Farnworth. What a game from him, man. Move over, Katoni Staggs, because Herbie is the man. And he's going to the Dolphins next year. What the hell's going on over in Brisbane? Crazy. They need to put something together this season because they're losing Herbie. They're losing Tommy Flegler. Yeah, good game for the Broncos, though. Adam Reynolds icing it there at the end of the game. Shout out to Renault. All right, the first of the Saturday games, Manly absolutely towing up the Bulldogs 31-6. Shout out Turbo, came back, looked very, very good. Very happy he scored 97 Supercoach points, so I'm over the moon about that because so many people said do not pick him. He is a player you want to stay away from. I mean, he did all right for his first game back. Let's be real here. But the player of the game for me in this one, easily Daly Cherry Evans. What a game from him. Wow. 3 tries, got a try assist. Crazy stuff. DCE, huge raps on him this year, I tell you. I don't think I mean, this might be the last year he plays Origin, but I reckon it'll be on his terms because he killed it in that first game. All right. For the doggies, look, there's not too much to talk about. I thought Alamotti was quiet. Same with Franklin Pele. Now, I've been big on Franklin Pele, and I thought we'd see a bigger performance from him, but he was quite disappointing. Jacob Preston, I thought, was outstanding off the bench. Sorry, I'm a bit bloody sniffly. All these freaking animals here, I tell you. Yeah, look, disappointing from the Dogs, but very, very good game from Manly. All right, next up, we've got the Cowboys and the Raiders. Sorry about that. A few little technical difficulties there. Now I can't speak. I've had a sniffly nose. I can't stop sneezing. Now I can't speak. What the hell's going on? All right, Cowboys and Raiders. Cowboys with a 1-point win up at hot and steamy Townsville. That to me is disappointing. They were up 18-0. They let that lead slip. Raiders got back into the game. Cowboys should have run away with this game. And I must say, in that second half, they looked very disappointing. So, some good performances. I thought Chad Townsend was pretty good. Like, he iced the game there at the end. But all in all, I thought Reece Robson was outstanding, arguably their best player. But other than that, there was no real standouts for them. They got a good win, but that's about it. I wasn't, no one blew me away. The same with the Raiders, though. Yeah, neither team really had standout players. Everybody sort of did their job, but yeah, look, I don't have too much more to talk about this one, to be honest. It was a bit of a disappointing game, and you guys might disagree with me and say, oh, it was a cracker, it went right down to the wire. It did, but the first half was heavily dominated by the Cowboys, which sort of made it boring. The second half was heavily dominated by the Raiders, which sort of made it boring. Yeah, it was entertaining to see who'd win in the, with the scores locked up, but I thought it was a bit disappointing, to be honest. All right, on to the Rabbitohs and Sharks. Yes, glory to South Sydney. Good win there for the Rabbitohs, 27-18. Very proud of my boys. My top 3 players were Lockie Ilias, definitely, Campbell Graham and Cameron Murray. I thought all 3 were standouts for South Sydney. We really dug into this one, so I'm very proud of the Rabbitohs, especially with Jai Arrow going down at the 23rd minute and the first minute Tavita Totola went down. So yeah, look, it was hard going into this game. We only had one forward off the bench and Blake Taff for 3/4 of this game, so I'm very proud of how the Rabbitohs handled that. Shaq Mitchell, David Mwale, all off the bench, had huge games. So I really appreciate that from them. They dug deep and had massive games. I thought Tom Burgess was outstanding as well. All our forward pack really did well. Alex Johnson, no tries. What the hell's going on there? Last year it was the left-hand side. Now we've got that right-hand side buzzing with Campbell Graham and Isaac Thompson. I tell you what, we've pretty much perfected this team. Loving it. I think I better book my grand final tickets now. On to Cronulla, the Sharkies. Trindle, what a game. Trindle was outstanding. I was shocked. I could not believe how well he played. Look, don't get me wrong. I know Trindle can play. But boy, oh boy, I didn't think he'd be that good. Shout out to Trindle. Trindog millionaire. Sorry, BKR. Very good game there from Trindle, and a few other Sharkies had a decent game. Like Luciani Katoa was pretty good. Ronaldo Mulatalo was a bit disappointing. Um, Matt Moylan stood up. He had a pretty good game too, but all in all, like the Rabbitohs just outplayed him, to be honest, and I'm very proud of the boys. All right, Dolphins and the Roosters. Holy heck. What happened? Roosters, he's lost. The premiership threat, quote unquote premiership threat, I should say, losing to the wooden spoon threat. You can't write about this. What a game! Shout out to the Dolphins. They really stood up. Massive games from big Marky Nichols. I thought Sean O'Sullivan was outstanding in this game. Hammer was good. Jermaine Asako was good. Felice Kafusi, the hits he was putting on, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Kenneth Bromwich, bro, they all stood up in this game. Shout out to the Dolphins. What a game. I absolutely loved it. Roosters, not too much to talk on in this one, to be honest. Man, that a lot of their players were disappointing in this one. Like Teddy was making a lot of errors. Yeah, look, I know I hate the Roosters, and you're gonna say I'm biased for saying that there's nothing good to say about them. But honestly, there's not much good to say about them. They were disappointing. Disappointing. Also, the teams that lost on Saturday all scored 18 points. I just noticed that. Interesting. But yeah, look, disappointing stuff there from the Roosters. I've got nobody that stood up in that team, to be honest. I don't even know if I had to throw a bloody. I don't know. I don't think any of them deserve any praise because I think they were all disappointing. Terrell May, maybe off the bench, he had a pretty good game, but other than that, like I just Luke Keary was all right, but yeah, look, I thought they were quite disappointing. This is one of the worst games I think I've seen them play in years. All right, the Titans and the Tigers. Shout out to the Titans, man. It feels good to see them win and win pretty well too. Like, 12 points. A lot of people will probably say, it's not that good of a win against the Tigers. I think it's a pretty good win, considering they were in control that whole game. Titans looked so good in that game, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm proud as hell. For the Tigers, yeah, they had a few good players. I thought Adam Dewey, amazing stuff from Adam Dewey. He was phenomenal. I thought Utui Kamanu was very good as well. Other than that, though, like not too many massive standouts for me. Dane Laurie wasn't too bad at the back there. They needed to bring Api Coruscant on earlier. They need to start him. He needs to play 80 minutes. Like they're stupid not starting him. Yeah, look, the Tigers they were okay, but definitely not what I think a lot of people were expecting them to be. I thought Isaiah Papali'i's debut was pretty mid, to be honest, especially from where we saw him last year. I thought it was a bit disappointing. But yeah, Tigers, look, it's round one. I wouldn't be too concerned. But Titans, you're putting it all together. Cam Pereira, what are you doing? You play so well in the trials and then you give us that performance. I was heartbroken. Had you in my bloody Supercoach team, I thought he'll score a couple here. No, not one. But the Titans played very well. Brimdog millionaire, as BKR would say. What a game. Standout performance from Brimdog. Kieran Foran went down with an injury, so that shuffled that back line up a little bit. I thought when Jaden Campbell came on, he was actually pretty good too. What else is there to talk about? David Fafita was outstanding, as was Tanner Boyd. Look, I think the Titans deserve a massive round of applause for that performance because they played outstandingly well. 22-10 winners. What a bloody game. But guys, that is going to end the review part of things. We will be back on Tuesday, Arvo. So tomorrow, Arvo, and I will talk all things rugby league preview for round 2. I'll see you then, although you guys technically won't because it'll all work into the same podcast here. But for me, it'll be the next day. See you then.
All right, guys, we are back and let's go through the team lists for round 2. Now, starting off, we've got the Panthers versus Rabbitohs at Bluebet Stadium. Look, neither side really has too many changes. Scott Sorensen is out with Matt Eisenhuth coming onto the bench. I would not be surprised if Zach Hosking or Lindsay Smith gets a bit of a run this week, though. I don't know if Eisenhuth is locked into that bench spot. Would be very interested to see how they finish that bench because Lindsay Smith in the trials was outstanding. For the Rabbitohs, Jai Arrow and Tavita Totola are out. Jed Cartwright comes into the side along with Daniel Saluka Fafita. So good game. This one should be. I think if Latrell Mitchell plays, Rabbitohs win. If he doesn't, Panthers win. That's my take on this one. For full tipping analysis and stuff, jump over to my YouTube channel and watch my tipping video posted yesterday. All right, Sharks and Eels. So this one is at Parramatta at PointsBet Stadium. So, oh, hang on. That's at Cronulla, isn't it? PointsBet Stadium's Cronulla, is it not? It's Shark Park. Eels are playing in Shark Park. Oh, Jesus, I didn't know that. All right, so Eels are playing a home game at Shark Park. Surely that can't be right. I don't know. All right, so changes this week. Isaac Lumi is out for the Eels and Sean Russell comes in. Massive. That is huge for the Eels. Honestly, massive for Parramatta. Jack Williams and Wade Graham are out. Coming in, Royce Hunt and Connor Tracy. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't mind those changes. I think that's pretty good. I would not be surprised if we see Thomas Hazelton come in for Tracy, though. I've heard really good things about him, and I thought he played really well in the trials. I've got Eels winning this one. I think they'll get the job done. All right, Broncos and Cowboys. So for the Broncos, Reece Walsh is in. However, no players are out as Jesse Arthurs has been pushed back to the 18th man. For the Cowboys, no changes to their team that won last week against the Raiders. So not too much to talk about there. I actually think Broncos get the job done here over the Cowboys. I really do. All right, next up, we've got the Roosters versus the Warriors. So this is at Allianz Stadium on Saturday. Should be a cracking game. Warriors have no changes to their lineup. So they are, essentially the same 1 through to 17. However, the Roosters have Matt Lodge out. Fletcher Baker comes into the starting 13. And then off the bench, they have added no one. They've also added Joey Manu. So that's the only other change there. Corey Allen drops back as the 18th man. So, look, Roosters win that one comfortably. I'd be very surprised if the Roosters lose that game, put it that way. All right, for the Dolphins, Ray Stone is the only player out. Mason Teague comes in to the number 16 jersey, so that's awesome for Teague. Very keen to see how he goes. For the Raiders, Jordan Rapana is suspended and Albert Hopawate will come in to their side. I think the Raiders get the job done here. I know it's at Redcliffe and the Dolphins fans will be out there in numbers, but I think the atmosphere is going to be completely different to the Roosters-Dolphins game. And I think the Raiders win this one, to be honest. So that's my tip there. Storm and Doggies, massive out for the Storm. Cameron Munster is out with Tyrant Wishart getting the go-ahead there. For the Doggies, no changes for them. Look, I'm okay with them going 1 through to 17, the same as last week. Like, it's the first game the players like their whole spine is new. Hayes Perham, Matt Burton, Cole Flanagan, Reid Marnie, like they've never all played together before. Obviously, Matt Burton and Cole Flanagan have, but they've got a lot of new players in this lineup. Ryan Sutton, William Kickout, Faymanu Brown. Sorry about that. I think the Dogs can get up here. I'm going an upset there and tipping the Dogs. All right, next up, second last game of the week, we've got the Tigers and the Knights. Pretty well a nothing game here. Adam Elliott is out for the Knights. Jack Johns comes in, I think. Dane Gagai also comes in. Maybe I've got that wrong. Did Jack Johns play last week? He must have. He must have been the 18th man. All right, so Jack Jones comes into the bench. Then Dane Gagai comes into the starting lineup for Inari Tuwala. I'm expecting Heimel Hunt will be out as Greg Marzu is named on the bench as well. So, yeah, I think he will return there. For the Tigers, Fanua Bole is out. And joining the bench, we have... I don't know who's coming into the bench here. Let me have a look here. Oh, so Seyfarth comes into the into the bench. He was the 18th man. Alex Twell comes off, and Joe Offahengawi starts. That may change again on game day. I'm not too sure. That one, I think Tigers win it quite well, to be honest. And then finally, Dragons versus Titans, Sunday, 6:15 p.m. Very excited for this. So it's actually 5:15 if you live in Queensland. Dragons first team named for the year. Not too many surprises, to be honest. Very keen to see how Toby Couchman goes on the bench. I've heard good things about him. Michael Molo is also named on the bench, so excited for those two. Talatau Amone has been named on the reserves, which is a bit of a shock. That definitely... So the NRL confirmed on Tuesday that the no-fault stand-down condition no longer applies to Talatau Amone, and he has been named and he has been added to the Dragons extended bench. Okay, I did not read up on that. All right, there you go. So, yeah, well, that's huge news for the Dragons. Aaron Woods is also named on the bench. For the Titans, no changes to them. Kieran Foran will keep his spot at 5'8", but Toby Sexton has been named in case he does go down with an injury. So, I don't think Toby Sexton will get that number 6 jersey. I think Brimo will move to 6 and Campbell will move to fullback. And either Chris Randall or Toby Sexton will come on to the bench. Titans win that one well, I reckon. So, yeah, guys, that's it. That's pretty much the podcast done for the day. I think exciting stuff for sure. I'm very excited for round 2. If you're listening on YouTube, let me know who you're taking down below in the comments. And if you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much for your support. But yes, guys, that is going to wrap it up. A smaller episode for sure. But look, I think sometimes the smaller ones are the better. We're going to end it with that, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.